What's
Yeah.
the benefit of using a swimsuit?
Well, it's probably trickled down a little bit from my thinking in and around my pro athletes, where the start of the swim is vitally important. I think when we look at, even half Ironman and Ironman swims, 1.9 Ks, 3.8 Ks, long swims where, fitness and muscular endurance is really, really important. But in the pro race, your takeout speed could define where you end up at the end of the swim. Now the swim doesn't win the race, but in this day and age, being in the right bike group is going to be hugely influential. And if you can get into that bike group, you might not get dropped from it. So the swim is so important. But however, if you break the swim down from a pure fitness perspective, after about the first 400 meters to maybe 600 meters, most athletes can swim the rest of the race at about the same pace. But the first 400 to 600 or the first 200 to 400 is almost crucial to the outcome of whether they can get into that group that they then end up swimming the same pace at. And takeout speed for especially the non-elite swimmer who doesn't come out from a swimming background as such, tends to be the difference maker. And a lot of my pros that I work with, none of them actually come from elite swimming backgrounds. So all of them are self-taught swimmers with no, not even surf lifesaving. So I'm trying to solve a problem where the swim parachute is concerned in trying to hold on to normal technique, but create load over and above what the athlete's going to experience, even with the use of hand paddles and pull buoys. So that first, 50 meters to 100 meters, we can improve stroke length through good force production, good catch and pull with resistance from the swim paddle, but stroke frequency, we can keep, it'll artificially promote a higher stroke rate to overcome the resistance of the parachute. So I've been sort of playing around with it a bit myself. In all honesty, I've only used it over the years in 1 or 2 swimmers, but I'm going to bring it into my winter program for a lot of my pros who do have a strong enough technique. I'm not going to use it on any of our pros, and there are still many pros who don't have very strong swim techniques, but they're very fit, but their technique still leaves a lot to be desired. And I wouldn't impart a swim parachute on a technique that I didn't think was robust enough to not be affected by the extra drag. But I am going to use the drag parachute on a couple of the pros and elite age groupers, because the thing that we want to improve is stroke frequency over the first 200 to 400 meters. I think I've used the tempo trainer. We swim a lot with form goggles that gives you that metric display on the inside of your eye. But without the extra resistance of a swim paddle, just asking someone to upregulate their cadence or their stroke rate by a few strokes per minute is not as easy to do as being forced into doing that. And that's what I see the swim parachute providing us, is that extra resistance, where the only way to overcome it is by increasing that stroke rate.